This is the Then Everything After podcast with your boy Amax.
Sasha Chantel.
And Franklin, aka the King of Trainers. How are we all doing today?
I am good, guys. All is good.
But I'm going to be honest. I screwed up on the recording, but here we are right now. But I'm just going to be honest about it. Like,
it's all good.
That's how you wonder if everyone seems a little bit jaded. It's because we've been talking, but somebody hadn't pressed the record button. So
this is what 2020 has been about.
This is the sum up of 2020. Indeed.
All right. You know what? We're just gonna jump straight into the conversation. So
yeah,
we were talking about Dave Chappelle. We were talking about the fact that he successfully, with the support of Netflix, managed to have his show pulled from their platform, which is a massive move for people who are the creative. Because normally in a situation like that, if a company own the rights to your work, there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. But Netflix chose to do the right thing. They've done the decent thing by Dave Chappelle. They've done the human thing, and they pulled it. That's amazing. That's incredible.
Incredible. That is definitely something that we need to celebrate. I mean, so what was Dave Chappelle's talk about? What was it called again?
It was Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
So
that came out really easily.
Yeah.
This time.
So yeah. So no, I mean, it just goes to show, like, you know, if we relate it back to ourselves, it feels that he is kind of in a situation, or has been put in a situation that is, he's been overlooked, he's been bullied, he's been robbed, you know, and it's something that happens to Black people all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
too much.
Our ideas get taken and then used without us, and then we don't get rewarded, and then people say that it was their idea and whatever. Do you get what I mean? So it's something that is, you know, very, very sad.
And it happens over time, and it's been going on for centuries. We know that. But for me, what I took from the whole thing was the fact that Netflix as a company have integrity. A lot of people have spoken about working with Netflix in a positive way, and there are a lot of actors who have disappeared off the scene for a long time who have come back and got Netflix originals, and they've helped to boost people's careers and so forth, and it's been positive. So for me, I now look at HBO and Comedy Central in a negative light. Not in a, you know, I don't want to jump on this, but at the same time, I will now look at them and think, how are you treating your artists? Is it all about the money for you? And it just shows that Netflix do their business in a different way. They came on the scene and they said they wanted to be different to other companies, and that's exactly what they've been for artists. And it's going to help their business grow. Like, people will shout Netflix off the rooftops. So it's a big thing.
We're shouting Netflix right now. We're shouting
Netflix right now.
We're shouting Netflix right now because, boy, you know,
they could have.
They just didn't. They didn't. Fundamentally, they didn't have to.
No.
They just didn't have to. They just didn't have to care. They just didn't have to. But the fact that they did, it's nice to see a corporate machine with human beings running it. Yeah, rather than seeing a machine where it's people just looking at what I's they can dot and what T's they can cross and what the maximum is they can get for the minimal input.
Do you know what, guys? The more I think about it now, as we're going back over this, right? I don't even think it's about them having humans behind the machine. I think they have a strong business acumen and they know success. He's a big success. Right. He's a big name in comedy now, and his name carries weight. You don't want to offend someone whose name carries weight, who has a big audience, because that audience would then turn their back on you if you go against him. So for me, because now Netflix are for him and doing that, I'm now for Netflix. If Netflix did the opposite, I'd be anti-Netflix. So, and they understand the power of people, and that's what I think. They get it. They get that, and they're behind that. So, yeah, I don't think it's a personal level. I think it's clever business is what they're doing.
Yeah, you know what? And you have to take your hat off to that. You have to take you hit the nail on the head. You have to respect that, because we live in a day and age where there are many successful businesses operating, but they're not operating in that kind of a way. So this just says that Netflix will continue to grow, and hopefully
they understand, man.
And hopefully the other platforms that stream film will take a leaf out of their book. and apply the same principle. Yo, mister.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, fam, I'm so sorry. You're so tired.
You know that I'm going to cut
fine.
that bit and I'm going to slow it down.
Yeah, do you know you should? I think do that as a meme, like, because I think that might see if that meme helps out. You know, people look at it. Oh yeah, that meme. Yeah. Just sorry, my bad.
Oh no, that's hilarious, man.
You know,
that is hilarious.
But yeah, that's life. This what happens. But
that's what happens when you're working hard.
Yeah. Yo, you've been grinding, man. But you're here.
Yeah,
you're here.
I'm here.
That's it.
But no, I think we need to really commend Netflix. We need to really, because whatever money they spent on it, you know, it's big money, right?
That's
and
right.
everyone would have still watched Netflix because the Chappelle show's that big and it's that iconic. That despite what Chappelle said, if Netflix said, we're going to show it anyway, it would have been the biggest ratings Netflix had because everyone just wants the Chappelle show back. Does that make sense? So what they've done is they stopped all of that. So it wasn't even about, we're going to get all the views, we're going to get all the press, they said, yeah, you know what? We believe in Dave Chappelle. We've been working on specials for him for ages. We've been doing all this stuff for him, with him. Let us halt this and see how we can figure out the situation before we put this ahead, you know. And they've done that. And to be honest, it could be one of those things where HBO could be stubborn about it, and it takes long. And Netflix have put a stance to say, however long it takes. So it shows that it's not about the viewership, it's not about the money, it's about integrity. And it's hard to find these big companies with that sort of integrity. So big up Netflix.
That's big. For real. Yeah. 100%. 100%. That's it.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love the fact that that's the case. I just love it. Yeah. You can't ask for more than that as a creator. You cannot ask for more than that. That's not even you know what the worst part of it is? That's not the ideal situation. That should be the standard situation.
Indeed.
Yeah. But that is the ideal situation.
Yeah. And I feel that now that Netflix has taken this stance, all the companies of this stature, from the music companies to the entertainment companies to just all companies as a whole, if they have done people wrong through music contracts, through sporting contracts, through boxing contracts, they need to go back and fix that. They need to go back and fix that. Do you get what I mean? People like Michael Jackson, how come Michael Jackson be talking about Tommy Mottola saying he was in a bad deal and all that? You know, that's Michael Jackson.
That's so many. Prince,
that's Michael,
George Michael, Prince. The whole lot. They've all been through this year in, year out.
So we need to be like, what is going on? Like the entertainment business as a whole has been flawed, and we as consumers of that business have been just lapping it up to the point that now we've got social media. We're seeing that a lot of these guys, you know, are not getting paid, you know. And it's funny because sometimes we laugh at people who are called one-hit wonders. And sometimes the reason why they're called one-hit wonders is because they haven't got enough money to continue the hits. They've signed all their thing into one. They haven't got publishing, so they're looking around. They're like, "Yo, I need to do another hit." They're like, "Well, you signed off anyway, so it's all right. We're not gonna give you another deal." And then they're gone.
That's big.
And that right there. That goes into the types of contracts that get put in front of people, and the fact that there is this need by companies to put contracts in which are lopsided. Like, how are you going to put a contract in front of the person who is the founder, the creator, the idea, the vision, and you're going to go to them and you're going to say, right, we want to do this. You shouldn't even be asking for 50%. It's just rude.
No, not from
it's
someone's
just rude, innit? It's just rude, innit? Let alone, I want to own what you've done. You know, like what happened to Taylor Swift?
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, yeah.
Where my man owned her catalog and didn't even give her the opportunity to have an option on it to buy it. He
Wow,
just, out of
that's crazy.
spite, made sure she didn't get it. He sold it under the table. So it was
That's
one of them
crazy.
ones where it just got announced and she got to hear about it rather than she was included in the conversation and given first refusal. Disgusting. Like, I'm not,
Absolutely.
and the thing is, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. Like, I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but
You don't have to be.
I can feel her pain, innit?
Yeah.
I can feel her
Just like
pain.
you can feel
it was
Chappelle's
disgusting.
pain.
Yeah.
You know, it was like,
You know,
it was like when Kanye had that meltdown and put the contract online. Like, it was the fact that he was in a situation where his stuff was being sold without his consent. And this happens again and again and again because companies put these contracts in front of people where I think people get caught up in the excitement of the opportunity, the numbers, the glory. Finally, my work is going to be here. But they don't see that the deal puts you here.
yeah, in the long run, it does.
The deal puts you here. You're going to start here, but it's going to swiftly do that. And I'm not saying in fame or anything like that. I'm saying in terms of you've created something which is technically a residual income for you. But you sold the residual to somebody else.
Yeah.
And because they understand residuals, that's what all that contract jargon is focused on. It's focused on that residual gain. And they hope that you don't see it. And I think that's frustrating to know that people in 2020 are still putting that in front of people. Even though this is a discussion that's happening and been happening and lots of people been talking about it. How do you still put them deals in front of people? Like how?
That's true.
How?
Exactly. It's going to continue to happen though, and we know that. It's not going to just disappear because Chappelle's opened his mouth and shared his story. It's going to continue to happen. But I feel like it's good for us to hear this and people to get an insight for those who are not aware that it happens, because some people still do not realize these things happens now, and it's important for the light to be shed on that. And I feel like to round this up, it's important that more people like Chappelle share their story. I know he didn't do it to like start some worldwide campaign, but the fact of the matter is, I know there's so many more people who have something to share, and it's a good thing because it's a learning curve for so many people to understand and get more of an understanding of the entertainment industry and industries that have contracts across the board. So it's a big talking point, and yeah, we can all learn a lot from it. So that's like my views on that.
All right. I'm gonna ask you then, because I know that you've got, so in a situation where someone can't afford to actually spend the money to have a contract looked over, because we know solicitors are mad expensive. They just are.
Wait, stop. Are we gonna go through your story of your job again in this recording, or is this a part 2? Because Fab's falling asleep.
No.
And I don't want this to look like Babs, I love you to death, my friends, but you look like you're about to go again.
No.
And I don't want to go through that whole dialogue again.
Oh,
There was a long bit that was massive. And if it hasn't been recorded, because when you said that you hadn't recorded, the record button was still up.
It was
especially a bit about you at work.
By the time you'd both seen it, and this is the thing. So you kids at home watching this, yeah, if you're using Zoom, make sure that you click record, and don't just click record. You've got 2 options of how you record, whether it's cloud or local. Whichever way you're going to do it, select an option. Don't do what I did.
Okay.
Don't do what I did.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we have to, tell the story, Simon. Keep it quick. Yeah. I don't want it to look like it's lagging.
Of course.
And then we have to just give our final thoughts and round this up. Okay.
All right.
3.
All right. I should take this hat off and give it to you now.
I just need to put the woman's hand on this, okay, and say, Right. So before we continue, Fab, stop
I'm
your hat. Stop playing with your hat. You're distracting me. Okay. You can do this. Okay. You can do it. 5 minutes. Let's go.
I know. I'm here.
All right.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to sum this up very quickly. So I was very quick to sign an employment contract. I did take it home, but I think when I read over it and I'd seen things that I'd seen many, many times again and again, and I'd flick through the pages and it all appeared to be what it has been, I just thought, okay, this is just a standard boilerplate template contract. So I've signed it. I've gotten on with my job. Then things have started to happen. Then COVID's kicked in. Then we've been locked down. Then my hours have been reduced. I've signed no contract to make any adjustments to the contract. So technically I didn't know that I was still by law contracted to work my 5 days. So I was still contracted to be paid for 5 days. But it wasn't something that I didn't think about it. I just tried to show the company respect and not push any buttons. It was only when they put me on a furlough scheme and they made me redundant during the period of putting me on a furlough scheme that I decided to go and speak to a solicitor. And in speaking to a solicitor, I realized that nearly every step I'd taken was the wrong step in that process. And there were certain things I needed to say and ways to address it and certain letters that I should have sent. But you don't know what you don't know. And I think a lot of people sign employment because this was a standard employment contract. It's just this whole furlough thing isn't standard. So then it means that terminology in that contract adapts to that situation. And I don't know how to best explain that other than to say, like, okay, so when furlough happened, there's things in that contract which make it possible for them to do, for the company the employer I work for, to do the things they did in the way that they did them. It was underhand the way that they did the things that they did, but I understand why they did them. Yeah, they couldn't afford to maintain myself and certain other people, and they'd hoped that everything that I'd done so far was going to see them through until we come out the other side of this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it. But the way in which they approached it, they left me short financially in terms of what they owed me. And the only way for me to have been able to pursue it would have been for me to take them to court and go through an expensive process. And I decided not to. But then the question is, what do you do in that situation? Like, what would you... So you get what you think is a normal contract. You think you understand what's in that contract. Do you still get a second opinion on it?
Well, it depends what you're going to do with that information, because you got the information from the solicitor, but you chose not to pursue it because it'd be financially not viable to do that. Now, if you're in a position to financially do that, then run the course and take it further. But if you're not, take that big L learning from this and make sure that if you get any contracts thereafter, you look at how they can use it and manipulate it and change it to fit their agenda if things and circumstances change. But all we can do as people is learn. Do you know what I mean? All we can do is learn and take things and try and go forward with it.
And then let's say you're in a situation where something lucrative is put in front of you, much like what happened with Dave. So whether it's a business deal or employment, but it's like a life-changing situation. If a deal's put in front of you, but you don't have the means to pay to have a contract sorted out, what avenues are there? Like here in the UK, I'm thinking about specifically, I don't really know much about other parts of the world, so I can only really make that statement, but based on here.
So no, Fab, what would you do?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I will assess it. If I've got kids to feed, if I've got a family to take care of, if they offer me £1 million there and then, you might have to take it. But the thing is they didn't offer, I think in Dave's case, they didn't offer any opportunity for him to renegotiate. Oh, wow. So they own the complete rights of that show. So that's kind of where people are saying that's a bit unfair. because I think he was yeah, he was 29 at the time. He just had a kid. You know, he wants to be seen.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes it might go beyond money, and it might be like, I want people to see me. You know, I don't care what it takes. I just want people to see my talent. And that's what they did. They made it like probably arguably one of the best comedy series of all time.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to look at as well, you know. But I think it's wrong that they take that and sell that, and then try to use the same people that he's got a good relationship and pit him against them. Luckily, he's smart in the way he handles himself now, and he just spoke on it like a G.
100%.
He did.
I was gonna say, I think what they've done is they've leveraged his situation. They've leveraged the fact that he's made an announcement. So he's made an announcement about something he's doing, or something's been said about something he's launching and doing. And at that point, HBO have stepped out and tried to essentially use that shine to reintroduce the show. And that's what made it extra like disrespectful.
They tried to piggyback.
Yeah, exactly that.
I need to look at all the back and forth. I didn't realize they were trying to piggyback like that. But that's. I mean, it's happened to myself. You know, it happens to many people in the footwear sneaker scene and creative scene. Like, we produce something, you know, we even put a name to it, and someone just comes and be like, "Oh, I want to do that," and then they take the name, and you know,
so manipulate it a bit, and it becomes
they're the originator.
That's right.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you know, I mean, when I was younger, I would have beaten people up for it, but now
ringing on the doorbell like Stormzy, yeah.
You gotta fight. Yeah, you gotta fight. You gotta fight.
Yo, Chip, where are you?
Yeah. Nah, you gotta box clever, man. You gotta just really box clever.
That's right.
You gotta box clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, 100%, 100%. Okay. All right, that was a nice one. That was a nice conversation. Definitely food for thought. Funny enough, actually, I think since Dave brought that up, and since me thinking about the experience I'd had, I decided to start learning Latin.
Wow. Wow.
Listen, I want to know every single word that's said in that contract that looks like English but isn't. I want to know for myself. Do you get what I mean? I don't care.
Good luck with that, you know. Latin ain't easy, but I wish you well in that endeavor.
Well, there's a beautiful app called Duolingo. Can't go wrong with it. I'm at like the second stage at the moment. It's going well. So
good luck.
Why not? Why not,
Keep
man?
us posted, yeah. Keep us posted on that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay. I was gonna ask this question actually, because you mentioned.
Wait, Simon, no more questions.
No, it's true. Yeah, we need to.
No, round it up. I gotta be strict with you now.
Yeah.
That was a good. We're gonna end it and round it up, and then we're gonna make sure we promote this, guys, aren't we?
Yes, 1,000%, 1,000%,
right?
1,000%. And you, the viewers,
I know we're busy,
you're gonna promote this,
but we need to promote this and get past 100 people on our Instagram. Okay, so let's just round this up and get this out so you can start promoting it. Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna kick that off then by, if you've watched this, you've enjoyed this, you can take a 2-pronged attack. So if you're not subscribed, come on, man, subscribe.
That's right.
If you've liked the video, just like it. Yeah. Leave a comment.
If you like my new hat, just like it for the hat. Like it for the hat.
No, I need that. Actually, you know what? I need that hat because the baseball caps gets a little bit sweaty on the forehead. So
yeah, don't worry. It's only because I got afro underneath here. I'm gonna shave it off. So once I shave it, sorry.
This I gotta see, bro. This I gotta see. But yeah, subscribe, like, comment, hit the notifications bell as well, because otherwise you're not gonna see the video pop up.
That's right.
So make sure that you do that, and also hit us up on Instagram. Then everything after. Yeah, on Instagram, look for that name, follow us. Yeah, join the conversation, share amongst your friends and family. Come on, man. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are interested to know about what's going on in the world and to be able to make sense of things and to be able to a certain degree, have their questions answered, this is the place for that. Yeah, this is the place for that. This is where we have conversations, where we look at what's going on, but we're not just talking about it just to be chatty patty and just chat about stuff. We're here to talk about things, to dissect, to make sense of them, and to bring solutions to the table. And sometimes we're just at the beginning of that solution. And where you come in is if you've got an opinion or you've got knowledge about a topic that we're talking about, where maybe we have less knowledge than you, this is a forum for you to bring that to the table. So we love that and we appreciate that and we need more of that. So if you're that person, bring that to the table. And if you're the person wanting to learn new things within what's going on in the world, you're in the right place. But this is your boy A Max.
Sasha Chantel.
And the king of trainers, the sleepy one.
The sleepy one. All right. That is a wrap. We're out.